So here we are at the entrance to beautiful Cunningham Park in Queens. Beautiful August morning, and I came across this plant which I'd like to show you guys. This is Sassafras albidum, or just sassafras. The common name, if it has one, escapes me right now. What's interesting about this plant is you have three types of leaf morphologies. And you have this trident, like a trident type. All right. You have a lanceolate leaf, lance shaped. There, nice. All right. And let's see if I can find one that looks like a mitten. So you have all three types found on the same plant very often. All right. This is a very common shrub or understory tree that occurs in our forests around here. It's being taken over by this vitus, this wild grape. Here's some close-up of those grapes. Let's see if we can get that. A little bit immature right now, but the birds are going to go crazy for it in a couple of weeks, maybe 3 or 4 weeks from now. All right, there's a little volunteer sassafras over here. Maybe this guy has the mitten. There it is. There's the mitten type leaf. So you have trident, you have lanceolate, and mitten. All right. You have alternate arrangement of the nodes of the leaves. So basically you have a stem, you have a node where some leaves come out. In this case is another stem, and they're alternate, not opposite. Right? Real beautiful. If you crush it, you're gonna get a nice smell to it, kind of like let me see. It's not too overpowering, but it's a nice smell. I can't describe it. And it's an important tree for our understory. And supports a lot of fungi, supports a lot of bugs, which support birds. All right. It's in the family Lauraceae, which is important for this class, so keep that in mind as well. Very easy to identify. You see alternate arrangement of leaves. Here's one, here's another, then this one. Okay. Here's a good example. Right here. Here's one leaf, and another, then another, then another. Here. Okay, look at see if I can zoom up on that. You see that little thing sticking out from where the leaf starts and the stem is? That's a little bud that defines the leaf. If you want to know what a real leaf is, you always got to look at the definitions that include the term buds in them. Oh, look, nice spider. Arenaeus. Okay. You have, if you have a true leaf, it's because you have a nice bud. A little bundle of cells that's going to turn into a new leaf next growing season or whenever the plant feels like it. Over here we have another one, very important for you guys to know. This is a wild black cherry, Prunus serotina or serotina. All right, and note alternate arrangement of the leaves as well. This is a lanceolate leaf, and it's also cerulate. There's a nice Carolina wren singing in the background. I don't know if you guys heard that. Let's see if I can get this in focus. There you go. Zoom up on this. That doesn't want to cooperate. There you go. So the leaf margin In other words, this, let's see if I can grab one here. The end of the leaf is not smooth, so it's not entire, and it depends on what it is. So if it looks like it has little teeth, it's serrate. If it looks like it has big teeth, then it's serrate. If it has little, like, rounded ends like this other plant here, this is an elm tree. This would be crenate or crenulate if it's lots of little ones. All right, this one's known. Yeah, it does produce nice cherries, little black ones. Here's a good way to identify this guy. The back of the leaf has a little fuzz. All right, some trichomes that turn into. They look a little bit brown. And I'm looking for a good example of that. All right. You guys can see a little bit of a brown fuzz at the midrib, in the main middle vein. It's not that obvious with this guy. You see this big old leaf here. Trying to see if we can find a nice example of that. And that's an important. Hold on with this. What's with all the traffic? Don't they know that we're in the middle of a virus pandemic? Jeez. I don't know. Well, you know what it is, right? Business is business and business must grow. This is a nice one here. I don't know if the camera is going to translate it too well. Maybe I'll insert a picture. There. All right, little brown fuzz on the coating the midribs. And, importantly also, you have two little glands. Two little glands at the base of every leaf. There's another one. Two little black dots. They're always present, almost always present. If you have like a cultivated variety of a cherry, maybe it gets lost or maybe it gets exaggerated. It doesn't really matter. Okay, here we have the stem. Okay, you see those white lines that go transverse, horizontal with the stem. Those are lenticels, a very good characteristic to help identify cherry trees. Very good. Wild black cherry, Prunus serotina. So here's another nice plant that you should get to know if you live in the eastern coast. This is the Sweetpepper Bush. Beautiful. Another alternate leaved plant, as you can tell from here. Okay. Here's, so we can do this with one hand here. Okay, here's one leaf. There's another, then another, and another alternate, right? Look at this. Dentate. Like little teeth on the margin of the leaf. This is a very common bush that you find in the coastal areas or in wetlands. Here I'm standing in a wetland or at the border of one. It's characterized by some trees that, for example, over here, this is a sweet gum. And you can see like a star-shaped leaf. I'll get a close-up of that later. So sweet gums are also trees that are known to grow in wetlands. Anyway, here's the flowers. I wish you guys were here because it smells so good. Here's a nice flower over here. All right, the flowers are born in racemes. Racemes being a group of flowers that, or this is a group of flowers is known as an inflorescence. But this group of flowers comes out in a raceme. It's got a main central stalk with little pedicels, little stalks that connect the flowers to that central stalk. All right, you got 5 petals. Look at those anthers. All right, there's the money shot. Hold on, let me see if I can get a nice close-up. Beautiful. There you go. All right, 5 petals. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 anthers. Not too dissimilar from plants of the heather family, Ericaceae. All right, this is Clethra ulnifolia, which happens to be in the Ericales, or in other words, a family of plants that is close to the heather family. This is in the Clethraceae, so it's pretty easy to remember. Clethra ulnifolia in the Clethraceae, close relative of heathers. All right, and you'll be able to recognize this in the wintertime here as the fruit. Here's the fruit. These are last year's fruit. Are persistent throughout the winter. That is, they don't drop, they don't fall off. All right. Clethra ulnifolia, very common wetlands bush for our area, and oh, it smells wonderful. It smells like some kind of mixture between Old Spice and some sort of baked sweet. So it's not as offensive as Old Spice, but much more sweet. And that's one of the common names, Sweetpepper Bush. Sweetpepper Bush. Okay, so here we have an invasive species. This is the first invasive species that we'll be showing you. Here, you have this broad-leaved, hollow-stemmed. Look at that! Look at that hollow stems. Hollow-stem plant, kind of reminiscent of bamboo, right? But it's not related to bamboo at all. It's in the Polygonaceae, which is another family completely, and we have quite a number of species in the Polygonaceae here in the eastern coast. Anyway, this guy is known under a few scientific names. I think the current accepted scientific name is Reinutria japonica, also known as, we used to know it as Polygonum cuspidatum. Okay, Japanese knotweed. It's an invasive from Eastern Asia, Korea, Japan, places like that, and it's established itself pretty well. It's come over here to North America and to Europe as well, and it's established itself very nicely. It takes over, as you can see, takes over the forest floor. Nothing else can really grow under it. There's really nothing else there. Destroys habitat for our native species. I guess it looks kind of pretty. The flowers aren't anything to speak about. Later in the season, you'll get these racemes or racemes of flowers with the infructescence showing up later. A whole bunch of flaky seeds that easily get around when blown, dispersed by the wind, or maybe they can catch on to the feathers of birds and get dispersed that way. So it's pretty easy for this plant to get around. And hold on. So I'm walking through this stuff. Barely anything else growing in here. The occasional jewelweed is trying to get through, but being quite unsuccessful at it. There's the little leaves, little plants down there. Anyway, it's standing about 4 to 5 feet tall. It can get pretty tall, and it's pretty easy to kill, though. Well, in terms of killing this year's growth. So here's a thick stem. See, look at that. It has these raised knots, kind of reminiscent of bamboo, but it breaks easy because it's hollow. You can kill it, just kind of clear it there, but it's got another trick up its sleeve. it's got a very healthy rootstock under the ground, and it will take heavy machinery to clear this area of the plant. There's no way that you can just rip it out, right? So it propagates underground with its underground stems, and it overwinters in that way, and it's very difficult to get rid of. All right, Rayneutria japonica or Polygonum cuspidatum.